Backstage, the show where we sit down with local artists and international artists and find out what's going on in their lives and in their careers. On Channel 82, where Bermuda shines through.
Hi, and welcome to Backstage. I'm your host, Mr. Magic. Long time ago, Bermuda used to have two television stations, ZBM and ZFB. Cable was introduced to Bermuda, and now we got over 150 or more so channels. But within that mix, on Channel 82, it is a truly Bermudianized and local entertaining television station. With me today, my guest, the president and CEO of Channel 82, Mr. Lamone Woods. How are you doing, sir?
Good.
And welcome. We got you from behind the camera because actually, folks, he is also one of the producers of Backstage. But we're going to talk about the concept of you having a television station in Bermuda, especially since we just shut down a television station not too long ago. I mean, is the market like that, and what inspired you to do this?
Well, it all started, I was in school in Toronto, in Canada. And, you know, I was reading and studying. And I realized that I read in a book once, like, what made Michael Jordan famous? And the answer was television. And I looked at Bermuda and I said, why haven't we been able to build in Bermuda? Why aren't people able to build that endorsement power, you know? And I came to think of it as the fact that they're not seen enough. Because the fact that we don't have a channel that really pushes locals.
Okay.
So my whole vision about it was that if we can see locals more, a lot more, if we can increase the frequency that you see locals performing their talents, then I think the endorsement power will build.
Okay, all right. Now, you say that because if we want to talk about promoting Bermuda itself, it would be the best venue, to do that visually. It's just like with food, as an example. It's always been said by many chefs, you eat with your eyes first. So you see the food that looks delicious. So with television, if you look at programming, people will look and say, that looks interesting. And Backstage, this particular show, is one of those shows that has become interesting to people. And what other content do you have here on Channel 82 that is looking interesting to people?
Well, we do a wide variety of things, from football to the Miss Bermuda pageant. So I'd say we cater to a lot of different demographics. And we started out doing sports and then realized that sports in Bermuda, because of the numbers, is that the niche is small. So in Bermuda, you need something that you can reach a wide variety of people, like a grocery store. If you look in Bermuda, the successful businesses, they reach a wide range of people, black, white, everybody that lives in the country. Grocery stores, sal companies, and television can do the same thing.
Right.
So behind everything that I do, that's what I'm thinking of. So it really is about Bermudians. It's really about local talent. So I'd say 90% of our content is local. We do infuse some international content at times, content that's relative, that I feel that's relative to Bermuda. And it helps to put us side by side with international content. So it also shows people that, we can produce good content here as well.
Okay. All right, because I mentioned earlier in the beginning of this that we just closed down a television station, and I mean, we don't know really why, what's the ins and outs of why that happened, but we came from two TV stations. Back in the day with the rabbit ears, you either have a choice between one or the other. Cable was introduced to Bermuda, and now here you are in that streamline of being on a cable, having a cable channel. What has been the ups and downs of making that happen?
Well, there's been a lot of ups and downs. I mean, it was a big sacrifice. I mean, I worked at Balco, and then when I came back from Canada, I worked at Balco, and then I was actually a teacher at Berkeley. I taught computer science. So, I was a year ahead as well. So, my paycheck wasn't bad. So I talked to my wife and said, look, I want to do this. And she was always very supportive. I don't think I really realized what I was getting into at the time. I'm a person that likes to get things done.
Yes.
So all I knew is I want to have a channel, and that's what I'm going to do. And,
Okay.
I sort of and they say you shouldn't start a business by jumping on the whim. And I understand what they
mean.
I understand what they mean, no?
Yeah, there are pitfalls along the way.
Because there are people that have jumped on the business on a whim and it's been successful.
Yeah.
So there are success stories, but people don't realize it's a very difficult road, you know?
Yeah, it's no success overnight.
No,
definitely not.
And people don't, it put a lot of stress on my marriage and everything. So I would tell anybody, like, I've sacrificed a lot, you know, and I wanted this so bad that I was prepared to give up everything to get it. I put my savings into it, you know, and I really have been pushing. So 6 years in now, I've been on TV for, 4 years, but 6 years into this whole process, now I feel like, you know, the trust is building in the community, where they're feeling like, okay, these guys are still around. They're getting used to us and realizing that we're always going to be here.
Okay, and yeah, you have definitely shown that you have content here to make people want to turn on and watch. You know, I keep bringing back to this particular show as well, because people have seen me and they stop me and says, hey, listen, I like what you guys are doing, who you're talking with, and showing us about the entertainment in Bermuda and what it's like with these people. You, as a young black entrepreneur in Bermuda, the struggle of saying, okay, going out on a whim and I'm going to put a TV station out. Have you even thought of failure in this?
No, you can't. And I would say this. I watch a lot of motivational speakers online, from Zig Ziglar to Les Brown. You know, my iPad, people laugh because in my iPod, you know, I have like books in there. You know, I have audio books. To me, like audio books, when I'm driving, I've got an audio book playing. So I have to constantly listen to motivational things, because it can get hard at times. And you do have people that may not see your vision or may not see how it can be done. And this has happened with anybody that want to do something great. People don't see how it can happen, but you see it in your own mind.
Right.
So in order for me to sort of neutralize negativity, I have to constantly every day put some positivity in my brain to keep me going. Because there are days where it's like, what am I doing all this for? I had a nice safe government job at the time. I don't know if you want to call government job safe now, but it was safe. You know, the money came in every month. You know, wife's happy, we're going on trips, Disney World every year. 6 years of that not happening really. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it really was a sacrifice. And I understand what successful people say sometimes when they talk about, you know, the family does feel the brunt. And now I'm finally getting to a point where I'm trying to balance that off. You know, like, okay, organize your day, go home at 6, you know, spend time with your wife and, you know, do things with her and make her feel good. Whereas before I was a bit selfish. I was so hungry for what I wanted that it's like, look,
you sacrifice.
You know, she's calling, she's like, what time you coming home? And I'm like, I gotta finish this thing. You know, it's 3 o'clock, what time you coming home? Look, stop calling me, I'll come in when I'm done, you know? So you really have to learn how to balance that, you know, because in the end of the day, I would say that things have progressed more since I've been stopping at a certain time, taking a break, just to give my brain a break and coming back to it. I'll say that more success has happened. I guess because I'm giving myself that space to sort of see new ideas instead of being totally consumed. And when I first started, we was in a little small apartment, so I worked from home. So my computer's there. So just sitting at home, I want to work because I'm looking at my workstation over there. So it's very hard to put it down. So that was a stage where I had to move and separate, you know, the business from being at home. So, you know, it's been a process.
I understand that. And on that note, we'll be back right after this. More with Mr. Lamone Woods, President and CEO of Channel 82, or I should say Crimson Multimedia, to say that correctly. So stay tuned. We'll be back. I'm your host, Mr. Magic, Backstage. See you in a moment.